Today, we're going to be building a project that I've had my eyes on for quite some time, along with a few other woodworking gems. So don't go skipping through the video, because you're not going to want to miss this. With nearly every YouTube woodworker on YouTube making holiday woodworking projects, I figured what better time to switch up the focus than right now. So today, we're going to be building this. Oh my. Wrong one, sorry. We're going to be building this. I'm pretty sure that's one of those hidden gems you were talking about. Well, great. Although I am putting quite a spin on it, so make sure you don't miss out. Alright, so in all seriousness, the first project build of this video is this. When I first saw this, I had no clue what it was. And if I'm being honest, I still have no clue. And with that being said, I don't have any kind of set of plans for this. I have no measurements that I can reference, no idea on what angles are used. Safe to say, we're taking a blind approach. So join me and meet me at the table saw. After I publish this video, I will have a set of plans for you guys. So for right now, I've got some figuring out to do. I've got this leftover pine from the last video I put out, and I'll leave a link to that video right here. And you're gonna want at least 48 inches or 4 feet worth of a 2x8. I'm gonna be building this piece as an end table for my couch. And my couch sits 30 inches up off the ground. Future Daniel here, while past Daniel gets that all figured out. I want to invite you guys to check out our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is growing like crazy. So I'll leave a link in the description where you can go and request to join today. It's absolutely free, where you can share your project videos, photos, ideas, and just hang out with a great community of like-minded people. That way you have an opportunity to get involved. Once you request to join, just answer 2 out of the 3 questions and you'll be approved. And the answer to those questions are in this video. So I hope you're paying attention. Hey, you all right over there, buddy? We better go check on him. Although this piece looks pretty intricate, it actually isn't that difficult. It's rare that you see something that looks pretty difficult to make that is actually easy. We're going to start out by cutting some 15-degree bevels. We'll cut a 15-degree bevel on both ends of our board. We're going to start our cut at long point of that 15-degree bevel to square at 16 inches. So that's 2 long to square of a 15-degree bevel at 16 inches. I'm often asked what type of blade I have on my table saw and my miter box, and do they make a difference? Well, to answer that question, it is a 24 tooth, 10 inch, thin kerf rip blade. The cool thing about these blades, they have flat teeth. And in my humble opinion, there's really no difference at all, as long as you have a 0 clearance insert. So if you're wondering why I have a 10-inch blade in my 12-inch miter saw, I just don't feel like spending $60 on a 12-inch. Alright, so we've got our 2 legs cut for this piece. So now we just need to cut the 2 upper pieces, and we're going to cut them out of this 20-inch piece. And we're going to cut those 2 for now, long of a 15-degree bevel to square at 8 inches. So that's 2 of them, long to square to 8 inches. All right, now that we got all of our lengths cut for our leg stock, we're gonna go ahead and get them ripped down at the table saw. Make sure to slap on that PPE, and let's get these things cut. We're ripping these down to 7 inches. Now let's go ahead and get our centerpiece ripped down. We'll be ripping this piece to 3.5 inches. All right, now that we've got our 3.5 inch centerpiece ripped down, we'll take it over to the miter box, and we're gonna get 2 angles cut on it at 15 degrees, measuring from long point to long point 3.5 inches. All right, so now's a good time to go ahead and get everything sanded down. I'm gonna be sanding it down to 150. Have you subscribed yet? What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and smack that like button. So dry fitting my piece, everything looks great. And I'm pretty sure that that 15-degree bevel is a little enough bevel to where I can clamp these two together and get a good glue up without any kind of special calls. So if you know the song, go and sing it along. We gon' add a dab of glue, 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 add a dab of glue. And our long point is going to be on the very top. And the long point of our leg is going to be on the inside. Line everything up nice and flush and lightly clamp this piece. If you do want to use cawls, just cut a 15-degree angle on a piece of scrap and then just cut the other side square. It doesn't have to be a very big piece. Just something like that. And then you can use your cawls to clamp this up. And there you go. All right, so I'm gonna come in at 1.25 inches from my side here, and we're gonna be adding some dowels right along here to help keep this piece locked in. And just lightly scribe a line. And we'll be doing that on both pieces. I'm gonna mark center of our piece, so we'll go 1.75 inches from both sides and then 3.5 inches. And that's where our dowels will be placed. Let's go ahead and get these holes punched. We're going to use a 1/4 inch drill bit with a 1/4 inch dowel. You want to make sure you hold your drill nice and level. And we're going to drill down 2 inches. Go ahead and get those 3 holes drilled out on both of your legs. Now for our dowels, I'm going to be using some contrasting wood, and what better contrast to go with pine than walnut. We're going to go ahead and get our walnut pieces ripped down to 3/8 by 3/8. You want to cut both ends of your walnut down so they fit in your drill chuck and into our dowel maker. Send her on through. And there you got your dowel. We'll add a dab of glue. We'll take our flush cut saw. Get those cut flush. Okay, so now I'm going to mark the center at 3.5 on the inside of both of these legs, and then we're going to mark center of our center piece. We'll take our center piece with our 1.5 inches facing the table here. Line it up with your center marks, and you want to be on the top of our first 1.5 inch piece there. And then just bring this all together. Once you get it all lined up, we'll get it glued together. We'll add 2 cawls to the end of both of these legs. Oh, them damn geese. Flock around and find out. And we'll add a dab of glue, 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 add a dab of glue. And I'm actually not going to clamp this. I wasn't quite thinking, because if I go to clamp this, it's just going to squeeze that all the way back up. So we're just going to make sure everything's lined up, making sure that we're flush with all of our sides here and on our center marks, and walk away from it.
Many hours later.
All right, so it's been about 22 hours. And what we're going to do to finish up this piece is we're going to add 2 more dowels, 1 on each leg. I just really don't trust that glue alone on this. So we're going to come up 2 inches on both sides. And we'll add a dab of glue. I've been debating on what kind of finish I want to do for this piece. Well, I'm just going to go with my usual finish, a simple shellac finish. I think that'll bring this thing straight to life. Well, rock stars, for $4 worth of a 2x8, I'd say this turned out magnificent. The dowels absolutely set this piece off. I cannot wait to put this next to my couch. Now, after doing a little bit of research and after actually building it, I am going to wind up making some more of these, and I'm going to do them out of some hardwood next. I think white oak, walnut, maple, maybe even some ash would look great for this piece. As far as price tag goes, I did a little bit of research, and items similar to this one are going anywhere from $100 upwards of $300, depending on the size. I could also see this design being awesome for like a bar stool, a step stool, or even a chair. So that being said, I will be making this one in several different sizes and posting these on my Etsy shop to get that big ass profit. Now, when it comes to using the restroom, I don't know about your household, but in my household, we gotta have the expensive toilet paper. My toilet time consists of Woodworking magazines and the latest Grizzly tool magazine. In other words, I take my toilet time serious. So why buy one of those aluminum crappy toilet paper holders when you can build your own? And today, that's exactly what we're gonna do. I've got this block of walnut, 2 inches by 1 inch, and it is 9 inches in length. This is gonna become our toilet paper holder. We're gonna get 2 pieces ripped 1 inch by 1 inch. Once you get those ripped, we're going to take and cut 1 square to long at 5 1/4, and out of that same piece, cut 1 long to long at 4 3/4, and finally 1 square to long at 7 inches, all with a 45-degree angle. Get this thing sanded, and while you're at it, be sure to smack that like button. And we'll use our blue tape method. And add a dab of glue, 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 add a dab of glue. And we will lightly tape our 2 square butts together, making sure not to pull too hard. And just double check for square. We'll let this dry, and I'll meet you back here. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some miter splines, and I may end up doing that, but for now, I'm just going to keep it how it is. And you may be wondering how the toilet paper is going to stay on this. while pulling? Well, to answer that question, I've got this 1/4 inch solid brass dowel, and I'm going to add it right into the top of my piece here at the end. I'm going to pull in 3/4 of an inch and go center of that 1 inch thickness. We're going to drill down 3/4 of an inch. Now we'll cut our brass rod at 1 1/4 inches at the bandsaw. And we're going to use some 2-part epoxy. It's the Extreme Gorilla brand. And I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. And we'll tape that down for now. And I'll meet you back here when it's all cured up. And to transfer those key slots, we'll use our blue tape method. And just make sure you have it nice and even across there. And then just color in your circles. Alright, so I've transferred my tape over here where I'm going to demonstrate it on my table. And I've got these 1.5 inch framing screws. And you want them sunk in to where there's about 1/4 inch left of your screw head. I went ahead and slapped some shellac finish on this bad boy. And let's go ahead and demonstrate how this works. Oh yeah, that's sturdy. Amazing. Oh yeah, we're gonna be wiping in style, boys and girls. Well, rock stars, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I do want to show you one thing before I go. I did do some research and I found one that's similar to this, but I want you to see something. What? That's crazy. Would I dare charge that much for this? No. I would feel comfortable around 35, 40 bucks just because of the walnut factor. I really hope these 2 projects have inspired you to try something different. And although things look difficult, they may not always be. Until next time, get in your shop and make some sawdust. Skål.